Hi, this is Lisa Nelson. Today I'm going to be creating a short presentation that will be used with the April 1st Connectathon participant meeting to demonstrate a basic skill that many people have been asking about. This is in conjunction with preparing for the Connectathon that will happen in May to be testing use case 1 for the Gravity Social Determinants of Health Implementation Guide. On April 1st, we'll be going over some of the interactions that happen in Scene 3, where the PMEHR is sharing data with a secondary data user, like a clinical data registry repository or any actor that needs clinical data for secondary purposes. But I wanted to supply everyone with this additional information on the earlier capability that we really got started with in the beginning of use case 1, which is a capability that is grouped with the PMEHR, and that is the capability of being a form creator. It's kind of implied that the PMEHR would have this form creation capability. So I'm going to go over a couple of things around how to use a form builder to create a FHIR questionnaire resource that would represent a screening instrument. And then I will talk about how the Gravity master list and set of temporary codes gets used in conjunction with that creation capability. And I am recording this so that tomorrow when we get together, everyone will have access to this recording and can use it as an instructional aid. As we've been going over use case 1, we started back in the beginning position where a clinical system wants to initiate some patient screening, and a technical actor does the role of the screening app manager, interacts with a patient app to facilitate gathering questions and answers from a patient based on a screening instrument that was provided by the PMEHR. This transaction assumes the PMEHR already has a populated questionnaire resource that represents the content of a well-defined screening instrument. That questionnaire is supplied as input on this initiate screen task, along with the patient list. So as we've been talking about this in terms of scenes, it's really about what I'm calling scene 0, with some assumed capability at the PMEHR to be able to create a screening instrument and express that as a FHIR questionnaire resource. So this video will just cover how to do that. You basically saw this when we talked about the first scene, and we demonstrated how the screening app could share that screening instrument through a questionnaire resource with a patient app that can expose and render the content of the questionnaire and allow the patient user to pick their answers and respond to that questionnaire. And now what I will show you is how to go about creating that questionnaire resource. And again, this is a capability that we assume would be present with the PMEHR. It doesn't really matter how they get the questionnaire. It could be a questionnaire resource that's already developed by an actor that is a form builder and then just supplies the pre-populated questionnaire. There are resources, for example, with RegentStreef and some other organizations that have started making populated questionnaires so that screening instruments can be available in the standard digital form. But whatever means that you need to start with your screening instrument expressed as a questionnaire. So I am going to demonstrate the use of a form builder that's called the LHC form builder. This is just one example of a form builder. I will be using this tool to create the questionnaire. I will be demonstrating how we use codes, either existing codes or temporary codes that have been defined by the Gravity project for concepts that do not yet have standard codes from nationally recognized code systems. So I'll be showing you how we use the codes that are available in that master list. And finally, I'll be just giving you a quick glimpse of what a populated questionnaire looks like. These links take you into the Gravity implementation guide, and this link right here takes you into the LHC Form Builder tool. So let's start there with the Form Builder tool. The Form Builder tool is basically just a user interface for creating questionnaires, and it's a pretty straightforward thing to use. It's all based on the SDC implementation guide for FHIR. It's as easy as adding elements, very similar to like using a SurveyMonkey type of application where you're setting up questions and answers and laying out the flow of a questionnaire. And what I'm going to do is first, I am going to demonstrate, of course, if you have the panel fully defined in LOINC already, this tool can import that panel right straight from LOINC and basically build the form for you. But I'm going to show you how you would do this using some of the temporary codes for forms that are not yet fully specified in LOINC. So I'm going to add a new item that is a panel level, which is the screening instrument level, and I'm going to enter its name. Where do I get its name from? If you download the Gravity master list, the screening questionnaire tab has got all of the screening instruments that the Gravity community defined for use in gathering information about food insecurity. So these are all of the different relevant screening tools that are out there. In the IG, we already demonstrated for you how to create, and there is a sample of the hunger vital sign. This is a fully specified LOINC panel coded questionnaire that's already available. So this one was created simply by using this available LOINC code. Today, just to show you how to do some of these other screening tools that were identified by the community as relevant but not yet included in a national code system, I'm going to show you how to go about creating one of these forms. So for example, if we wanted to create a questionnaire for the screening instrument that's called the AHC screening instrument, we would want to populate with codes and with concepts that come from this master list. So the name itself, I'm going to pick up right from here, AHC, and I will put that in as the name of the panel and add that to my questionnaire. The next thing it asks for is for the code that would go along with that. And we are going to use a custom code because this screening instrument has not yet been standardized by LOINC. And so I will go into the master list and pick up the temporary code that was assigned to represent this panel and populate that into the tool. I could provide help text if I wanted to. You can include a local code, which if we wanted to also use our temporary code as a local code, we could leave it like that and then eventually use the nationally recognized LOINC code once that gets set up by LOINC. But that will basically establish that this questionnaire is the AHC questionnaire. And now I'm going to add an item. This is going to be a child item underneath this panel. And it will be a new item that is a question, and it is going to be the question that this panel is laid out to have. It happens to be this question about whether or not in the past 12 months you worried about whether or not your food was going to run out. But it has a LOINC code already associated with it. So this is a bit of a hybrid situation where although the panel has not been standardized, some of the questions that are used within it have been. So I'm going to go and use that LOINC code, and I'm going to import it from LOINC, which means that now I can just easily search for that LOINC code right here, select that question, import it from LOINC, and a lot of the work will be done for us because this is a known question that already exists. Checking to see what's taking so long. Import from LOINC, this question. I'll try again. Import. Let's see if we can try this one more time. So we'll click on here, insert a child item. We're going to import it from LOINC. It's a question. The LOINC code that we're going to use comes from this code right here, and we're going to select that as an option and say import. And now that part of the questionnaire has all been imported. You can see here that all of the possible answers and everything associated with that are also carried in. This form has a second question, which you can see here in AHC. There's a second question about within the past 12 months if the food that you bought didn't last and you didn't have enough money to get more. So that question right there has a LOINC code associated with it. I'll pick up that code, go back to the form builder, ask to create another item, and this will be an item right after the one that I just specified. I'm going to bring it in from LOINC. I will use that code to search for the LOINC question, select it, and say import. Now my second question is here. Over on the right-hand side, you can kind of see just a quick view. This is like a quick view of what it would basically look like in a patient app with the answers already coded and all set up there, ready to go. And this is a pretty simple questionnaire. It just has those two questions. So I'm all set. All I need to do now is export this to a file, and I want to export it as a FHIR questionnaire R4. Select that and press continue. And the tool then gives me a place where I might want to record this questionnaire, and I will put it in just a quick folder off from here just so that we can open it up and see it. I'll save that. And then we will open the form and look at it in JSON. And you can see the items here, the grouping for the AHC form, the temporary or local code that's used to express that, and the basic question item here, along with the drop down that has the answers that you can pick between, often true, sometimes true, never true, don't know, all coded with your standard LOINC codes. Then you have a second question and a drop-down list with the possible answers there. And that is your questionnaire resource, all created and populated using the concepts available from the master list. I will save this example and the recording and make this available for everybody tomorrow.